meteorologist Robert Speta. Of course, we got meteorologist Ross Muma here, who is just back after a nice little break. How you doing, Ross?
I'm good. I know it's been a while since I've been in one of these streams. I have felt somewhat lost without them.
Yeah, that's your keystone in life. It's the 4:30 weather stream.
That is my North Star.
Yes, I'm sure everybody at home is exact same way to like, hey, I gotta have my weather watchers here.
You have to. It's a staple. It's like your morning coffee.
Exactly, but 4:30 in the afternoon. So what are we going to talk about today? We got a rainy weekend in the forecast. Want to get to that here. Plus, talk a little bit about some Friday night football and Sunday afternoon football because looks messy. And take a couple of your photos and questions here. First, though, I want to start off with a broader look here. Ross, you got to tell me about, you were up in Pennsylvania for a little while.
Yes.
Tell me about what 28 feels like. Did it get that cold out there for you?
It did, yeah. There was I woke up 2 mornings early. I was out hunting and stuff, but out there in the tree stand, you had 28, 27 degrees both of those mornings. The one day, it was a little bit windy, which made it feel much worse.
Oh.
So wind chills were in like the low 20s. The next day, not so much. But you could never have too much clothes on. In my younger years, I used to think like, I can probably do with just like one long sleeve, a sweatshirt, and like a jacket, and I'll be good. And you are good for like the first 30 minutes. But then you're out there for like 3 hours, and then quickly you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold. It wasn't the most pleasant in the morning. Afternoon highs, though, we only hit like the upper 30s, near 40.
Ooh.
So, it was cold. We had snow. It was like a completely different world up there. Yeah.
Legit snow, not the Florida snow, which is frost.
Yeah, no, we had like a solid 3 to 4 inches Tuesday morning.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice
A little winter getaway.
Best part about it, though, in my opinion, is that you go there, you see the snow, and now you're back here, and it's back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Leave it there. We'll have everything, but we do have rain in the forecast.
We do, yes.
So can you tell me about our weather impact alert coming up then?
Yeah, we have it for both your Saturday and your Sunday. This is going to be in effect for pretty much the entirety of both days. A widespread rainfall, and something that we really haven't seen a whole lot of here over the past 2 months even, is expected. Isolated flash flooding will be a concern. You tie that in with the king tides, especially in like St. Augustine, might be an issue. But kind of off and on showers for Saturday night, heavy rain, Sunday morning, heavy rain. So we're going to get into it here. But nonetheless, you got outdoor plans this weekend. Do you have your Christmas decorations up outside yet?
I do not. I was actually going to wait until after this passed to put some of them up.
Okay, that's probably a smart idea because, any outdoor plans you have, whether it's decorating outside, Christmas shopping, going around the town center, or we'll get into the Jags game then. There is going to be rain in the forecast. If you don't have the umbrella or the rain jacket handy,
can't take an umbrella to the Jags game.
Correct.
Remember that. You don't want to be that they'll turn you away, but just don't even try to be that person. So with the catalyst for all of this, it's the stationary boundary coming in out of the Gulf, and this already has brought some rain today to parts of southeast Georgia, all lifting towards the north. I find it kind of interesting if we just grab this picture right here. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Let's try. I was just trying to actually just drag it a little north because you can kind of see where some of the snowfall is there across parts of Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get that. But what we do have is, we were talking about this earlier, is the worst kind of weather. It's like 40s in parts of Georgia and it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
Just, ugh. Keep that in mind for when the Jags game does come around here. So what we got going on here at the Futurecast there then, Ross?
Well, so this front's staying just to the north of our area, really north of I-10 through tomorrow, and really even through the first part of Saturday. So that's going to keep most of the rain chances just to the north of Jacksonville. So if you live up in Folkestone, Waycross, or even right along I-75 in like northern Columbia County and north of there, that's where most of the rain will be. But you'll notice here, as the model goes on, you get closer to Saturday afternoon, evening, and then even into Sunday morning, that front drops southward. We're going to have a low move rate over us, and that's really just going to show that whole confluence of low-level moisture, increasing our rain chances. So heavy downpours on the way by Saturday night and Sunday morning, Robert.
And the good news, at least here, I guess relatively good news, is that Sunday morning for tailgating for the Jags game looks really, really messy, but at least by the afternoon, or at least our high-res in-house model, is showing some better conditions by 3, 4. Like, still cloudy, still rainy, but it looks like tailgating. If you're out there, drinking with your buddies, I would suggest maybe putting a lid on the cup.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very diluted.
You're going to want to get that easy up as quickly as possible.
There you go.
When you first get out there, you pull to your parking spot, get the tent up, get the easy up, try to keep yourself dry as quickly as you can.
There'll be somebody just standing there in the rain like,
Yeah. Well, and maybe one good thing is a lot of the tailgating spots out here are on blacktop.
This is true.
I have done it where you're like in a field or in grass, and then it's just like mud, and you're slipping and sliding,
stuck.
and that is gross. So on the plus side, yes, it is going to be raining for tailgaters, but you're not going to get necessarily all muddy.
Plus, Tailgaters Parking does have like that little outside bar over there that you
Yes,
can
yeah.
If you need to, you can hide in there.
Yeah.
It's just going to be damp. See right here, starting Saturday morning, on and off rain. There is still kind of pockets there on Saturday morning, but then by Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's when you kind of get those heavier stuff. Plus, we were talking about the chance of thunderstorms here. Now, what are your thoughts on thunderstorms, especially around game time?
I think there will be it'll be possible. I think the storm chance itself will probably be a little bit further southward. So we're talking perhaps Putnam County, St. John's, Flagler, Southern Clay even. So could there be some storms Sunday afternoon? Yes, certainly. I don't think there will be a lot, but there will be a few embedded within the overall kind of complex of rain. But it does look like, especially with that high-res in-house model, showing most of the activity starting to drift a little bit further southward after kickoff. I think any storms that we do see on Sunday will probably be south of I-10 and south of the Jax Metro here.
And that's basically just as that front kind of drifts down, right? And see that right here. Also, I think that it's not going to be anything severe. It'll be probably one of those like, oh, did you hear that?
Like elevated storms.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. So when we mean by elevated, we're not talking about like those like summer type thunderstorms, more like just kind of the upper, I don't want to say mid-level rain, but just those kind of damp conditions, and then you have a very shallow thunderstorm that could pop off a couple rumbles of thunder.
What do you think about like a lightning risk for the game? Yay or nay, minimal?
I wouldn't.
A little bit more?
I wouldn't be putting an alert on it, but I would say there could. The problem is there's I would say like a 10% chance that there's a rumble of thunder that causes a delay.
Yeah.
And it would be like one hit, and then there would be a delay, and then everybody would have to sit around in the rain because of it.
What I think we are trying to stress, like, there is a small chance, but the risk isn't a lot. So we don't have the lightning icon on our 7-day or on any of our graphics for Sunday, because the vast majority of folks shouldn't have to worry about a lightning risk. It should be very minimal for most.
And hopefully by the end of the game there on Sunday into the afternoon, it does start to dry out. So maybe you can shed the rain jacket a little and try the dry out. But the morning, So here's a look at our 5-day rainfall. We were also talking about the flood risk out here, not because of one specific storm, right, but because of this prolonged nature of this whole event.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really the issue, especially next 24, 48 hours across southeast Georgia. And then all this eventually shifts towards the south here, and we get our increase in precip. And tell me about this, Maps, because you put this one together.
Yeah.
So what do we got?
Yeah. So this is really just looking at rainfall totals from this evening, or really from earlier this afternoon, all the way through Sunday evening, and clearly noting inland southeast Georgia, you're going to have the highest rain totals, upwards of at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Some localized spots upwards of about 3 inches. And this is actually going to be some pretty beneficial rainfall for those folks, right? I mean, they've had severe to extreme drought for a month or so here now. So folks in Ware County and Charlton and Pierce, you need the rain desperately. And thankfully, in your case, you're more than likely going to see the majority of it. Just hopefully it doesn't all come down at once.
Yeah.
And it's kind of spread out over that 2 to 3 day span, allows it to kind of like soak in.
Not only for agriculture, but also the fire weather danger we've been having. It's just been so dry. We had a frost early in the season. It killed off a lot of weeds, and then there was just like this just dry, dead stuff everywhere. So when we had a little spark, we actually had some pretty decent fires in Nassau County about 2 weeks ago. It spread. So any of this, even if it doesn't revive plants and all that, it still is going to help with this the soil, reduce that fire risk, which is great news. Here's one more look, though, at the Jags forecast, though. Kickoff against the Colts. Who you picking? I know I don't do the picks like you and Lou, but I can at least jump in on this one.
This is going to be a big game, division-wise, playoff standing-wise. I'm taking the Jags if the rain persists through the game because the Colts play, at Lucas Oil Stadium in a dome. So the Colts might not be as conducive to playing out in the elements.
Very weather-oriented pick there.
Yes.
I like it. I always find that the rain to be always the kind of the little equalizer. Now that's from my high school football days where the quarterback, if it rained, any quarterback, unless you are a future prospect, is just like, ugh.
No, it's very true, though. I mean, turnovers and stuff, either interceptions or fumbles become much more likely when it's wet and soggy and rainy out there. So, it could even or level the playing field a little bit.
Hey, all right. Make for an interesting game. But we're going to make for an interesting little break here. We're going to go for like 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Let's talk about the forecast as we head into the rest of tonight and into Friday. Now, maybe we'll take some of your weather questions on here. All right, so let's take a look at the radar here because we got some showers we're tracking. Been looking already at the rain across parts of Georgia over towards Tallahassee. You even see this little line here, Ross. What do you think's going on right there? See, just north of Tallahassee?
Oh, yeah. So maybe the front could potentially be right along there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
from
thinking.
Tallahassee up to just the north sides of Valdosta. And I would imagine that goes just on the northern side of Waycross, kind of based on where that reflectivity is showing.
You know, and it's kind of notable, too, where that is. Actually, you can kind of, you're right, you can kind of see where that front is just north of Waycross and extending. Let me see if I can draw it on here for you guys at home. Because just north of that, temperature's in the 40s, but south of it, especially once you go further south in the like out towards Palm Coast, Gainesville area, today got down to got up to high 70s, near 80 degrees in spots. Not the case now, and even right here, you can kind of see those lighter blues, right?
That's a wide range of temperatures on the map there, from 64 in Palm Coast to 50 in Waycross.
I think it's important to note that, though, because when we pull up this rate here for today, this is for tomorrow, 79 degrees. Just remember that is for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Gainesville might even get in the 80s, but Waycross, I think they're going to struggle to get into the 70s. Like, there's going to be just this big range of temperatures here on our Friday.
And some of that's due to cloud cover. Some of it's also just due to the rain and some of the rain-cooled air there as well. So, yeah, there's going to be some spots on the first coast that it's going to be a little bit drier tomorrow. It's going to be warm and breezy. And then there's other spots that it's going to be a little bit more damp, a little bit soggier and rainier out there. And it's just going to have, I like to consider it like a raw-like feeling. And I've had some raised eyebrows in the past before. Like, what does it mean to feel raw? I think just like cold.
I get it.
Cold and wet. Like, it just feels raw outside.
Not the greatest.
Yeah, not comfortable.
Let's take a look at our forecast for, well, actually, since we're here on tomorrow, let's talk about the game of the week.
Yeah.
What was this? Booker at Reigns. They're in the playoffs now, too,
Yes,
right?
this is the semifinal round for Reigns. So, yeah, they got the Booker Tornadoes come to town, actually.
Oh, dang.
The Tornadoes, yeah, kick off at 6:30.
I mean, I want to go for the local team, but hey.
you
got anything weather-related? I'm
yeah,
like, ooh.
it perks your interest. I think it'll be interesting tomorrow, Robert, because most of the day for Jacksonville should stay dry, but as you get closer to sunset and then into the evening, there will be some showers around. I don't think the storm risk for us tomorrow is very good. Further north of I-10 across southeastern Georgia, there will be some. But for this game and for a few of the others around the first coast, might have some showers, not only at kickoff, but kind of off and on throughout the game. Kind of depends where it's at.
And not just for football, but if you're going out, maybe checking out any of the Christmas lights out there. And we were just talking about this in the break about St. Augustine, the Nights of Lights. I've noticed it's been getting some social media kind of presence lately. I mean, it always has. But it's been getting a lot of hate on social media recently. And I think there's like these influencers that are showing up from out of town. I've never heard of it. And they're like, it's so crowded and busy. It's like, y'all are going in on a Friday night. I think tomorrow night, with a chance of rain in the area and it's crowded, just limit your expectations.
Yeah.
When you went there recently, when did you go? Was it on a Friday or a Saturday? Or was it during the week?
No, it was a weekend. So this was last year.
Oh, okay.
We went down. We did like an evening boat tour. So you got like a nice like waterfront view of all the lights. Yeah, that
was it the pirate one?
It was not.
I want to go on the pirate one.
I don't even remember what it was at this point. But so it was like very picturesque, and you had the boats going around with the lights on and stuff. But actually walking through it, I think I was expecting like Griswold's house. With like lights and flashing and all this stuff, and it was just like shiny brights, which is like a classic look to Christmas. Yeah. I get it; it is pretty. I think I went in with a different expectation, so I felt underwhelmed afterwards. But I do see the appeal.
Have you ever done the Black Hawk Bluff Drive?
No, that I have not done yet.
That is Griswold House.
Yes,
after
and I think
Griswold.
I think that's what I had in my head.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, I was like, oh, this is not that.
Yeah, that's more of like a classy, like old money classy Christmas. That's St. Augustine.
Yeah.
The Black Hawk Bluff is like, it's Griswold. It is like they use bow and arrows. You're a hunter, you'll like this. They use bow and arrows and they tie like the ropes to it and put the Christmas lights on it and they shoot that up over the trees.
Oh, okay.
That hang these lights.
Now, did they play music like with the lights?
No. So the thing is, it's like it's just a bunch of houses.
Oh, okay.
Like
so just the whole street is like
yes, and then they, like their HOA has gotten together and they're like, okay, we're all gonna light this up, and a whole community has done it.
Okay.
It's not organized, which is important to know because I know last year somebody was trying to sell tickets to it on just some Facebook marketplace. And people were buying it at like $50 a pop, and it's like, no, this
you can just drive through.
Yeah, it's a community. It's a road. You just drive through it. No one is selling stuff. It was a scam, obviously. Yeah. If I lived there, I would probably be trying to pitch out, maybe selling people some overpriced hot chocolate on the side of the road.
Yeah,
or something.
Get a little stand set up
gotta get that
house.
money in.
Now, I'm thinking like that's probably a terrible night to order takeout though. If you live there, you're like, yeah, honey, don't worry. Dinner's on me. Let me go get the pizza. I'll be back. an hour and a half later, you're still waiting in the long line of cars to get back into your neighborhood.
Order some Uber Eats, and it takes them like 2 hours to get there, and they hate you for it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if you go this weekend, it's still going to be damp out there. I wouldn't show up at Black Hawk Bluff with the convertible and the top down or anything like that. I mean, you do you. But I think one of the best days to go look at Christmas lights, though, in my opinion, is going to be Monday night and Tuesday night. It's going to be chilly. Do you have an ugly sweater?
I do. Well, I have a Christmas sweater. I don't know how ugly it is, really. It kind of is.
Sweater. Yeah, it is. It's Christmas sweater and ugly sweater are the same thing.
Yeah, it's very Christmas themed. So yes.
So that would be a good time to break that out. Though.
Yes.
Just go enjoy the lights. And also you miss out on the crowds there Monday and Tuesday, so it feels a little more winter-esque. Anyways, that's a look at the extended forecast. I'm going to take a couple of your questions, talk about the full cold supermoon coming up here just after the break, but I'm going to let Ross go. He's going to be here at 5 o'clock. Anything outside of what we talked about here, Big, that maybe you could tease to?
Oh, we talked about how much rain you could see. Shoot, I don't know. We really did cover a lot. I guess a little bit of a precursor there. You can see it at the end of the 7-day.
Yeah.
Morning lows back into the 30s.
Ooh.
Might have a frost on the way for some of our inland areas by the middle part of next week. So we'll talk about that.
And also, we got all the news. There's some stuff going on. I know St. Augustine Road. There's been a power line down on the road all day.
Yep.
It's been closed off. So had the latest update from there coming up in 10 minutes. So thank you, Ross.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so let's talk about the moon out there tonight. Now, a lot of you are probably going to have cloudy skies if you're watching here from the First Coast, especially north of Jacksonville. But there are some areas with clear skies. And just after sunset, the moon is going to be rising here. And it's going to be looking pretty big in the eastern sky. That's because we have a full supermoon. These are photos from last night. It actually rose right about 5 o'clock yesterday, so it looked pretty cool out there. Cold supermoon. Yeah, that's my superhero right there. He gets his powers from the supermoon. It's going to be out there at 6:14 p.m. That's when it'll peak as far as its closest approach and when it's at its fullest. Last supermoon of 2025. We actually had 3 this year, believe it or not. Kind of neat. The last one was the November super beaver moon. And don't forget, the cold moon takes place in December because, well, it's December. That makes sense, right? Little science there for you. Hey, also, it's the supermoon because that's perigee. It's typically about 15 to 13% brighter and also appears larger. And since this is going to peak right after sunset when it's rising, it also has a different little effect. I think it's called the parallax effect or something like that. It's right when it's close to the horizon, it does appear pretty big. So if you do have a clear sky out there tonight, good luck. If you get some good photos, send them our way. Also, I put out a digital short. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel. You can see that about this little interesting clouds. This is an asperatus undulatus. That's fancy Greek word. No, it's Latin. Excuse me. That means turbulence. And today, seeing this over Jacksonville, Sheila sent this in to us at our First Coast News Weather Watchers page. Basically, what was happening, we had this very cold, low-lying air, but this front towards our north was trying to thrust in some warmer air as well, overrunning that colder air. And what we've seen is the atmosphere react and cause a little bit of a turbulence